660 KDUZ News, I'm Mark Wodarczyk. Wright County Sheriff's Office, Lino Lakes Police Department, and Hennepin County Sheriff's Office are investigating a credit card skimming case. Investigating officers believe the majority of the skimmed credit cards were compromised at the McDonald's on 7th Street in the city of Monticello in July and August. Authorities say McDonald's Corporation is cooperating with the investigation, and they have provided evidence in the investigation. Their credit cards would have been compromised by a juvenile employee who worked the drive-through lane and was obtaining the information for a larger organization. And the authorities are in the process of compiling a list of victims at this time, and they're requesting the assistance in identifying all victims. The majority of the victims targeted are white females. Credit card skimming is a common method used in financial crimes. The thieves will legitimately obtain a person's credit card during a business transaction. However, they'll be in possession of an electronic skimming-type device and will swipe the card again and obtain the credit card number. Those numbers are taken and placed on another credit card, allowing them to purchase items with their name on the card, but with the victim's credit card information. The victim will be in possession of their card and will not be aware their card is being used fraudulently. Authorities say if you utilize the Monticello McDonald's drive-thru on East 7th Street in the months of July and August and have been a victim of credit card fraud, you should contact the Wright County Sheriff's Office. Several suspects have been identified. A former Le Sueur man who pleaded guilty to a federal embezzling charge has been sentenced to more than 3 years in federal prison. 63-year-old Delroy Sand Jr. was also ordered to pay nearly $650,000 in restitution to the retirement funds of his former employees. Sand was the trustee for the savings plan at Helka, which provides adult foster care and offered mental health services. Police made 3 arrests after what they're calling a mini riot broke out on the streets of downtown Minneapolis. Dozens of officers responded to a dance party involving several hundred teens called Big Bash 2 around 10 p.m. Saturday. A police spokesman says one of the 3 arrested youth tried to punch an officer in the face. Leaders of faith communities, state and federal government officials, and first responders gathered on the Minnesota State Capitol steps yesterday, September 11th, to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Governor Mark Dayton.
We must remain as we are the preeminent military power in the world, and that eternal vigilance is the price of freedom and safety. But also that our national security depends equally on good relations with one another, with our fellow citizens around the world.
Representative Alice Hausman commented at the conclusion of the event.
I think the symbolism of this huge diversity of thought and of religion and of commitment even to our country, we all come at that in a different way. But today, across all those boundaries, we were able to come together. And where you saw it expressed in the youth, in that great hope that we can move beyond what happened 10 years ago, I think that is the thing that ultimately is going to bring us together and make a stronger country as we think back to those horrible days and we look for a renewed and new and hopeful future.
President spent the 9/11 anniversary hopping from one crash site to another to honor those who lost their lives 10 years ago. ABC's Brad Wheelis reports.
Focus on the White House. Air Force One, which was taken to a then undisclosed location to keep President Bush safe, was used on this 9/11 anniversary to shuttle President Obama to all 3 crash sites. First at Ground Zero in New York, where he quoted scripture.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear.
And ending the day with a speech at a memorial concert.
These past 10 years have shown America's resolve to defend its citizens and our way of life.
ABC's Ann Compton.
Try as he might in the weeks ahead to pivot back to jobs and the economy, President Obama's days in the White House will continue to be overshadowed by the risk of terrorist attack, just as it overshadowed President Bush. Every day, that secret intelligence briefing brings the dangers right to the president's desk. Brad.
I'm Brad Wheelis, ABC News.
Tim Pawlenty is endorsing Mitt Romney for president. That's the word from Romney's campaign. Pawlenty is a former Minnesota governor who dropped out of the GOP nomination race last month after a poor showing in the Iowa straw poll. In an email to supporters sent by the Romney campaign early today, Pawlenty says that Romney alone, quote, possesses the unique qualifications to confront and master our severe economic predicament. Locked out union workers at American Crystal Sugar Company are blaming fires at plants in Drayton and in East Grand Forks, Minnesota on inexperienced replacement workers. A company spokesman says the fires happened in pulp dryers Thursday at the plant in Drayton and on Friday at the East Grand Forks plant. No one was hurt. Minnesota-based Cargill is recalling more ground turkey products because of possible salmonella contamination. The USDA said yesterday that Cargill was recalling about 185,000 pounds of ground turkey products made after production resumed because a sample tested positive for salmonella. No illnesses linked to those products have been reported. The Minnesota National Guard is sending its first ever agribusiness development team to Afghanistan next month. The mission goal is to help create economically viable farming operations in secure Afghan provinces. Colonel Eric Olness says the 58-member 135th ADT will be deployed for 1 year.
We have approximately 24 people from Minnesota. We have staff who provides administrative, logistical, and operational support. And then we also have the ag expert team, the people who will actually be instructing the Ministry of Agriculture and the local farmers on agribusiness practices.
Olness says 6 female soldiers will work with Afghan women and widows in Zabul province to help start up a poultry operation. The troops received ag training through CHS in Inver Grove Heights and North Dakota State University. DNR officials say almost all of storm-battered St. Croix State Park reopens for day use today, plus the equestrian campground and 2 modern guest houses on Norway Point. Parks and Trails Operations Manager Peter Hark says they're glad the public can start coming in and enjoying the park at a nice time of the year.
It's a popular park. There's just a lot to do at the park. We have trails. We have the 2 rivers, St. Croix and the Kettle River. There's great fishing, great hiking. We have bicycle trails. You go to the park and you can climb a fire tower.
Hark says one of the sections of the general campground at St. Croix State Park will reopen September 30th. A July 1st windstorm heavily damaged over a fifth of the park's 34,000 acres and over 1/3 of its buildings. A labor of love that began 15 years ago will finally come to an end this week when the final pages of the St. John's Bible are unveiled. Reporter